Meeting on parole is called to order. Today is Thursday, March 30th, 9:04 a.m. My name is Brennan Kelsey, along with Michelle Renata. Mr. Alvin Roche will be a parole panel. Staff and support is seated at DOC headquarters in Baton Rouge. Our remote location is Louisiana State Penitentiary with staff and support there. Please introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Warden Rochelle Ambo
Reginald Labrador classification.
and Cavalier Offender Records.
I'm Cindy Moses, social worker 1.
Kenyatta Claiborne, social service counselor.
Charleston Dixon, social service counselor.
All right, we're ready for our first case. Please introduce yourself, state your name and DOC number for the record.
Everett Arcement 130177.
All right, Everett, you heard the introductions. We'll be your parole panel. We'll ask you some questions. You can respond at the end. You can make a statement. We'll take a vote. I see you have staff behind you. We'll let them speak as well. Talk to us, okay?
Okay.
All right. Everett Arcement, DOC number 130177. You're a 5th class offender. Parole eligibility date 10/23/2023. Good time date 7/8/2024. Full term date 1/24/2029 of a 7-year sentence for theft. Does that sound correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, would you answer Mr. Roche's questions, please?
Yes, sir.
Good morning, Mr. Alderman. How are you?
Good morning. Fine. How are you?
Mr. Alderman, you are 52 years old?
Pardon me?
Are you 52 years old?
Yes, sir.
And you are a 5th felony offender. You've been convicted of 5 felonies.
Yes, sir.
And
My
you-
last conviction brought it up to 5.
and you've been arrested over 20 or 25 times. Is that
Yes.
correct?
Yes, sir.
And you have a good time date in July of 2024, next year.
Yes, sir.
And I see where you not put that in any good time. Have you taken any program?
Yes, sir. I took pre-release, thinking for a change, substance abuse, and money management and pre-release at the Fouche Parish Detention Center in 2021 before I was released in January of 2022 by mistake. They released me by mistake, and 5 days later they picked me up so I wouldn't awarded the good time.
Okay. Okay. So tell me what your job assignment is at Louisiana State Penitentiary.
I don't have a job assignment as of now,
And why?
because I recently just come from this facility and I'm in a transitional program. I come to this facility about 2 months ago. I was in a quick release program.
Okay, and I see you came from you came from Richmond.
I came from Richland Parish. I went from Terrebonne, came from Terrebonne work release because of my health problem. I got hurt offshore. They shipped me to Richland Parish. Richland couldn't do too much for me, so they shipped me up here to Louisiana State Penitentiary.
You spent some time at the Lake Hospital.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and how are you doing right now? How's the medical situation?
My medical condition improved a whole lot. I got my vision back. I had a stroke. I couldn't move on my left side. Now I'm able, by the grace of God, to be able to move my activity of my limbs on my left side.
Okay, tell me about your disciplinary conduct.
I don't have any disciplinary conduct since I've been incarcerated.
And you've been incarcerated since 2022?
No, since 2021. Since 2020, December 2020, they made a mistake and released me January 2022 for 5 days, and they rearrested me. I tried to inform them that I had other charges, but they didn't have any information. So I went and signed up for parole, and I got on parole.
Okay. Now, tell me about your transition plan. Where you gonna live, where you gonna work?
I'm working at my job that I left offshore that I got hurt on, BJ Martin. I was a chef out there. My residential plan is at 6782 West Park Avenue, Homer, Louisiana.
And what other vocational skills do you have?
I'm a chef. I'm a mechanic. I'm a welder by trade, and I'm a carpenter.
Why was it necessary for you to continuously be arrested for theft?
Because I went through a bad divorce and I turned into a drinking problem. And when I didn't have the money to pay for the beer, I was stealing. I'm just gonna be honest with you, but that's beyond me. That's past me. Because while I was in the work release, I had the opportunity to go in stores, and I didn't purchase beer or any alcohol when I went into stores.
But your first arrest was in 2005 for manslaughter. What was that about?
And manslaughter, I was a driver of a vehicle, and I wasn't aware of the individuals that I gave a ride that had guns in the car, and we went through a neighborhood that started firing through the neighborhood. But I didn't report the crime that had happened. So when I went in front of the jury and the grand jury, they charged me with no accessory after the fact. But when I went to court, the DA upgraded.
Oh, okay. Now, you said you were comfortable and you couldn't pay your bills, so you went to stealing other people's property, but you were arrested in 2011 at the West Baton Rouge probation and parole. You were arrested 3 times in 2014, 2015, 2016, 4 times in 2017, 5 or 6 times in 2018, 2019, 4, 5. So basically, you've been arrested multiple times from 2011, 2021.
Yes, sir.
This was not because of a divorce or something. Tell me exactly what was going on.
I went through a bad divorce in 2015 and I picked up a bad drinking problem. I didn't have any control over that, and I picked up a bad drinking problem.
Okay. Now, have you ever had a mental health evaluation?
Yes, sir.
And what was the result of that evaluation?
I was diagnosed with paranoid schizophrenic, depression, and bipolar.
Are you currently on medication?
Yes, sir. I take my medicine twice a day.
Okay. Are you compliant?
Pardon me?
Are you compliant? Do you take your medicine every day?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Every day, twice a day.
Mr. Roche, our mental health staff is here with him today.
Okay. Right. So let me hear from the mental health staff.
Mr. Arcement is currently housed in our transitional unit. That unit is for our more severe mentally ill offenders. He's been with us maybe for about a month now. He has been placed on medication. He does receive that medication twice in a day through pill call. He's seeing our psychiatrist as needed. Like I said, he's only been here for about 30 days. So far, his behavior, we haven't had any issues with Mr. Arcement. He's been pretty calm and cooperative since he's been here.
What is the average length of time when a patient comes in or an offender comes in and you, would classify him as stable?
That actually is gonna depend on the offender itself, depending on their mental state and the time it takes to get them under control, depending on their behaviors and things of that nature, as it pertains to their diagnosis. Typically, we'll keep someone in the program 30 days to 90 days. It could be longer. It just depends on that particular offender. And
Thank
so I know initially, Mr. Arcement was actually brought to us in a medical state. So he left the nursing unit to come over to our transitional unit.
Thank you, madam. I appreciate the information. It was very helpful. One, if you have any additional information?
He did do a victim accountability letter training when he was at the LaFouche Parish Jail, so he did do that. You know, I don't know if he went to TU because of his mental health state or that he wrote a letter here in his folder asking for protected custody because he felt that it had people out there trying to get him. So I don't know if that's a part of his paranoid schizophrenic or what, but he did write a letter to us asking that he be placed in PC because there's a big hit out on him.
Okay. Mr. Chairman.
Anybody, okay, does anybody in staff, either one of y'all have any input? The other two, social work staff?
That's all mental health, Mr. Kelsey. That's the mental health staff.
Right now, I'm just, there's three of them. I'm just asking if either one of them want to make a statement as well. I appreciate, I didn't know if they all wanted to make a statement or not. No, you don't have to. I'm just asking.
I think just piggybacking off of what the warden stated in regards to his diagnosis, with him making the PC claim, I'm more than sure that it probably has something to do with his diagnosis.
Sure, yeah, I would think, yeah, sure, I'd absolutely, the paranoia is absolutely a problem. You, and the prognosis there, what do you feel like the prognosis there is for him? I mean, is he someone you see long-term in your transition facility? Or?
As long as he's here and he is going to be in the program, yes. He also sees the psychiatrist. We also have psych nurses as well.
You guys are giving medication twice a day, significant amounts. I mean, what is he receiving?
I'm not really sure all of his meds. Mr. Arcement will know all of his exact medications that he's receiving. Mr. Arcement, do you know?
Yes,
Some of
ma'am.
the meds that you're taking?
Yes,
currently?
ma'am. I'm taking Seroquel for depression and Depakote for paranoid schizophrenia.
Good. Okay, good, great. Thank you. Have a question for Ms. Renata?
Mr. Arcement, when you seem to be very familiar with your diagnosis. When were you first diagnosed with mental health?
I was first diagnosed with mental health problems when I was 7 years old.
So you've lived with this most of your life.
Yes, ma'am.
And so you were able to go to work release for a little while. And then what was the nature of your injury?
I was working offshore as a chef, and on my off time, I was pressure washing a canopy, and I slipped off the canopy, and my safety harness didn't hold me, and I fell and hit my head on a grating, and I went into a mild stroke, and I started catching seizures after that bad.
So I'm glad to know that you do better.
Yes, ma'am.
So you feel like you're getting good care where you're at?
Yes, ma'am. I'm getting taken care of pretty good. I can't complain. There's nothing bad I can say about the program. It has helped me a whole lot.
Glad to hear. Now, I wanted to, so what about your protective custody? You still feel the need for that?
No, ma'am. When I first come here, I didn't have much time, and I seen a lot of people here had a lot of time, so I was somewhat afraid to be around people with that much time.
whenever you're released, your transition plan would be to go with your sister?
My sister staying in my apartment till I be released. She have my truck in my apartment until I'm released.
And before you got there to the penitentiary at Angola, what, on mental health medication, like even when you were in work release?
Yes, ma'am. While I was on work release, I was still following up on my mental health medication.
So you've always been compliant, you've always taken it like you're supposed to?
Yes, ma'am. I always take it like I'm supposed to, yeah.
All right, that's all I have.
Would you like to make a statement on your behalf?
Yes, sir. So far as my addiction with the alcohol, I'm past that. I had a moment, you know, to take out in life for myself and look at where I came from and where I'm at now and where I'm proceeding to go. You know, while I was in the work release in Terrebonne Parish last August, I was laying back and, you know, I was just looking at nature, how Hurricane Ida devastated our parish. You know, and I asked God, I said, what could I do to help somebody? And he spoke to me, he said, our children need love. And so I took it upon myself and donated $4,300 in school supplies for 5 schools in Terrebonne Parish. And in November of last year, I donated 200 turkeys to Second Harvest Ministry. I look at life now through the eyes of God, you know, and that's love. You know, our children are hurting. They're going to school hurting from some things that's happening at home. They're afraid to talk about it. And our teachers, you know, they're not getting the welcome that they need and the accommodation that they need, because they really take care of our children. And our children need to feel the love coming from our leaders.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much. Thank you for your comment. All right, Pell, prepared to vote? Mr.
Yeah.
Roche?
This Arcement, based upon your extensive criminal history, you are a 5th felony offender, opposition from law enforcement, opposition from the DA's office, a high risk assessment, and a medium needs assessment. My decision today is to deny your supervision.
All right, Mrs. Renata.
Mr. Arcement, I think you're doing well at the TU. I think you benefit from continued treatment prior to your release. As Mr. Roche indicated, you have a high risk assessment score. So my vote today, because I want you to be sure you're ready, my vote today is to deny your parole, but I would add, when you're released on your good time, a special condition that you do follow whatever aftercare treatment plan is set forth by those folks at Angola, and connect with a mental health professional when you're home. Good luck.
And I vote to deny your parole. Well, for the same reason stated, I think you're in a good place right now. You look like you're moving forward and doing well. I'd like to see you continue that. So 3 votes to deny. Today, your parole's been denied. Good luck to you.
Okay.